Previously on the Kicks Bright YouTube channel.
Drip, drip over here. It is another beautiful day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I'm glad that you could join me. Welcome. So, it has been a couple of weeks since we did the black dually. Or as I'm calling it, the black dually, and another locust thorn. You gotta watch out for these things when, you're not wearing shoes. It's like somebody's been dragging wood up the hill or something for the winter time. So, without further ado, I present to you... still works. So last time with a little cobbling, we got this thing fired up and it moved like 50 feet, something like that. And then we realized there was an antifreeze leak. So on this time, what I would like to do is, there's still fluid in there. Yeah. Well, I'd like to drive it, but before we do anything more, and even pulling this radiator out is a big deal. So, well, not that big a deal, but anyways, it looks like it's just leaking from the top there. So I would like to at least test drive this thing, make everything sure everything is good, everything works right. So I'm going to adjust that pump a hair and see if we can't bump the idle up a little bit. We'll top this thing off, and then, the glow plug button. Okay, I have a glow plug button for it, so we'll put in a glow plug button and adjust that pump and top this thing off. And then I want to take this thing for a test drive and probably want to vacuum out all that mouse poop. I don't really want that in my mouth, because these chocolate sprinkles are everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And as much as I like chocolate sprinkles, I really don't want to eat them.
I have eaten 10 of those things, and I've already had to go to the doctor. Twice!
Glow plug switch installed, or as Cambridge calls it, push button starter switch. Whatever, you silly made in China parts company. So, you hear that, Black Dually? Yeah, no more electrical issues. You don't have to identify as a Dodge anymore. And I adjusted the pump. Probably way too much, but let's see, after sitting for a couple of weeks, and the crummy diesel that's in it, if this thing will fire up. All right, here goes nothing. So, glow plugs, because it's like 38 degrees right now, which is, 4 in communist measurements. And that's probably long enough. Let's give it a shot. How about a little more glow plug? And what a sweetheart, it's doing it! Ah, so reliable. Oh, it is cold. Let's see if will it idle? Will it idle? Oh, it is low. It is cammed. All right, let's let this thing warm up.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, it was cold, right? So while we let this thing warm up, I figure we could probably take care of all the dirt dauber nests, and well, we'll use the Mouse de Letter 900, or as some people would probably know it, a free vacuum cleaner that we turned into a shop vac, to take care of all of the feces and bug nests. Yeah, we don't want that on here. Oh, and probably should clean that front windshield and side windows too while we're at it. Look how good that cleaned up. Man, I mean, it's not a show truck, but it's definitely a nice driver. I mean, well, okay, those are stained. Hold on. Look how good it cleaned up. Oh, man. Well, at least it'll be a nice driver, you know. I think so, at least. And I mean, the dash is just, it's barely cracked. See that? I mean, just barely cracked. It's really not that bad. I think it'll be a decent driver. Plus, oh yeah, windshield. Let's just do the windshield now, because I keep forgetting. Since I'm cleaning out a vacuum, doesn't that make me a vacuum cleaner?
Those guys are dorks.
Yes, but they're my dorks.
So, how does that saying go? God laughs at best laid plans? Well, the plan was, oh, that's not bad, just used. The plan was to just go do a lap around the block or whatever and, give this thing a little shakedown. But I ran out of gas for the chainsaw. And, well, I don't want to run ethanol. That stuff's junk. So I want ethanol-free fuel. The problem is it's like an hour and a half drive to go get ethanol-free fuel. So it looks like we're going to change the oil and we'll get rid of that Fram filter and we'll give this thing a proper test drive, but we probably want to do the oil first. Oh yeah, and here's a little trick for you. If you turn your drive shaft so that way the oil can just flow right through it when you pull the filter out. I mean, it's that easy. See, little hacks and tips and tricks. You don't need to worry about the ball joint boot being duct tape. I mean, I'm feeling really good about this. Oh, look at all that rust way up there. Oh yeah, that's so nice. I want it to go into a Duramax, not a crusty old Detroit diesel. All right, so the new plan is, it's only like 4.5 inches down. So what we do is we fill this up. It must only be leaking at the top somewhere. And it's not that bad anymore since doing the oil change. So I'm thinking fill this up, fill the overflow up, grab some kind of pump. So in case we need to pump it between the two. A bag full of tools, a couple of these jugs full of water, and, you know, like an hour drive. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? See, look at that. That was barely even empty. I think we'll be just fine. There we go. Look at that. Barely even looks like it's been abandoned sitting in a barn for 10 years. There's no way we're going to have any issues with it. All right, so I'm about a half an hour in and low coolant light is on. However, I just checked and there's coolant in it. You be quiet. The turn signals did not work, but now they started to work, kind of, after a few turns. So, you know, Chevy things, it's fixing itself. The only thing that kind of stinks is this. So, yeah, that bearing left the chat. So, I mean, it's not like we are going to have any overheating problems. It's not like we have a leaky radiator or anything. So, yeah, let's just see how far we can go now.
Place town. A town is a place where everyone hates you. Kids all try to beat you up.
Made it. So while I go in and prepay, how about we do a let me learn you something with kicks? Some of you may have noticed that this is a brass radiator with a radiator cap and just a conventional overflow tank. Well, that's because this is a 1993. They did that in 92 and 93, which makes these radiators pretty tough to come by. But in 1994, 4, General Motors switched over to a plastic and aluminum radiator with the radiator cap on the overflow, like I have on my white dually. Well, that's enough town for me for 1 week. Let's get going. Who wants to play a road trip game? How about I Spy? I spy with my little eye something red and silver. Did you guess it? Yep. And that front bumper says it could be a 6.5. So we'll put that on the GPS. Let's see. Oh wait, I don't have a GPS. Yeah, I don't even wear shoes. Because that's what we need is another 6.5 turbo diesel project, am I right? I mean, what do the American pickers say? The time to buy it is when you find it? All right, you twisted my arm. I'll have to put on shoes and go back there and see if it's even for sale. Ah. Well, we made it back. And I know what you're thinking. Hold on. You're thinking, Kix, you went almost 150 miles to go get a couple of gallons of gas, risk your life in the city? Yeah, well, what do you say? I mean, I like good gas. Also, you're probably thinking, and you didn't even wash the truck? Well, when you live on a gravel road and it's wintertime and it's raining, you know, the truck just gets muddier anyways. So now the big question is, what do we do with it? I mean, it runs, it drives, 4-wheel drive works. I mean, the actuator light doesn't turn on, but that's no big deal. 4-wheel drive itself works. The semi-professional rebuilt injection pump works great. It'll even roll coal. The low coolant sensor here on the radiator definitely needs to be replaced. The radiator definitely still leaks, but don't worry, it's cooled down. After 150 miles, look at that. It's only like, okay, it's gross in there, but that's only like 2 inches down. So that doesn't leak that bad. Plus, maybe that red and silver Chevy that we found will have a radiator for it in it. I mean, we'll just try and buy it for parts. 2 birds with 1 stone. So yeah, don't forget. Be blessed. Peace. Talk about a successful day. Made it home in one piece and maybe even found another 6.5 project. And 500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do it without you. You guys are awesome. Be blessed. Peace.